I think that the Democrats have put this out with Joe Biden having cancer, which they knew all along. He had it the whole time he was in office. That's a given. It just doesn't pop up overnight. Um, it For prostate cancer, it takes years before it really gets really serious. So he's had it for a long time. But anyway, the Democrats are. I don't know if they're trying. They threw this out there, and I don't know if it's some sort of a distraction to get away from all this other crap that's going on. This is going to be the topic for a while because everybody wants to know how he's doing, and that's fine and dandy. But I think it's just another distraction. They threw that out there because they're not honest for one thing. So that's total BS right there. There's no honesty on the Democratic side. There's just none. That party should be demolished. It should go away. They shouldn't even have a Democrat party. Fire every one of them, all of them. Anyway, Tommy Lahren has spoken up. She sends her condolences. Well, not condolences. He's not gone yet, but her sympathy, and myself as well. I do the same. But anyway, let's take a listen to Tommy right here, real quick, and we'll get into some more stuff.
Once again, let me preface this all by saying I deeply feel for Joe Biden and his family. We've all likely been touched in some way by the horrible disease and diagnosis of cancer. Republican, Democrat, Independent, it doesn't matter. We put humanity and decency first and foremost. Joe is a former president, a father, a grandfather, and a husband. So our thoughts are with that entire family as they fight this cancer.
That's correct.
But as a concerned citizen, I'm also not going to shy away from saying what many of us are thinking. How did a former president with arguably the best medical care and team in the world get taken by surprise at this advanced diagnosis? Many of us are questioning it, and it doesn't mean because we're mean or insensitive or harsh. It's because we've been lied to for well over 5 years about Joe's physical and mental state, and this all just feels very odd. As President Trump's former physician and many others have pointed out, for his medical team to really have missed the signs and symptoms of prostate cancer until it got to this advanced point is really hard to fathom. Was this part of the cover-up too? How can anybody fault us for questioning it after all the lies we've been fed to this point? The timing of this announcement very coincidentally comes just as the Biden White House tell-all books are coming out, and those in his inner circle as well as prominent and powerful Democrats are being needled about what they knew and when they knew it. This all feels like it was meant to chill the discussion of all that, and for some it might. Some may not feel up to discussing the big lie due to this recent news, and that's their choice. But this whole thing, the way it came out, when it came out, it feels very, very off. And I wish I didn't have to feel that way, but given the track record, the years of lies piled on lies, well, this is where we are.
Yep, that's exactly where we are. And I agree with her. I just cannot figure out the Democrats. I don't know what it is. They're vicious. All they think of is violence. And the reason for the borders being open when they were to come across, and now they're trying to fight deporting the illegal aliens. They're trying to stop the deportations, and the reason for that is votes. That's why they're fighting for. You don't have to be a citizen to vote. You can register to vote and not be a citizen. That's the reason. It's votes because they've lost power and they want it back. They can't. They cry like little bitty babies when they don't get their way. Wah, wah. Anyway, Clay Travis has a take on this about Joe's health. And let's take a listen to Clay and see what he has to say about it.
Obama, George W. Bush, and Trump all had their prostate testing numbers, that PSA, included in their White House health report. Joe Biden never did. Joe Biden never had his PSA included.
That is because the Democrats were covering it up.
According to Dr. Gupta, what he said this morning on MSNBC, that it was not there. That to me suggests very likely that there was a cover-up about Joe Biden having cancer. And if they were covering up Joe Biden having cancer and clearly covering up Joe Biden having dementia, who was actually the president of the United States? Who was making all the decisions that were attributed to Joe Biden?
Obama, Schumer, probably AOC and Letitia James, probably.
Biden. And what have we done that the party that claimed that they're opposed to democratic threats actually had a Game of Thrones like situation where inside of the palace the ruler was not able to lead, and there was a coterie of individuals surrounding that ruler, Joe Biden, that were actually executing the powers of the presidency, and we didn't.
You know what I'd like to know? I'd like to know who the operator was for the auto pen that signed all the pardons and signed all those documents. That's what I'd like to know.
Actually have a president capable of doing the job. Again, this is something that has never happened in any of our lives. It's a tremendous danger. Who would have made decisions about the nuclear codes? Do you think that maybe Russia was aware of Biden's frailty, and that was why Vladimir Putin felt like he could invade Ukraine? Do you think maybe Iranian interests were aware of Biden's weakness, and that's why they felt emboldened to invade Israel in October of 2023? Do you think the high-level security apparatus of our hated rivals around the world were not aware of Joe Biden's frailties? I think they were. I don't think they were hiding from it.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, in the long run, probably the very long run, it's all going to come out. And there's going to be some crap going down. But what we need to do, we need to start arresting some of these criminals. Not the border crossers, the ones in politics, the Democrats. All these lies, and there's got to be some sort of a law against them lying and covering this stuff up. There's got to be a law. And they need to be held accountable for it and put in jail. Anyway, let's listen to a little bit more of Tommy Lahren. She's a smart young lady, very smart, and I appreciate her. And she's very wise. She's up on this as well.
That man had access to the nuclear codes. That man was our commander-in-chief. That man was leader of the free world. That audio sounded like a message from the crypt. Democrats lied. The media lied. They're all liars. Jill Biden is evil, by the way. And the only real question that remains is, who really was president from January 2021 to January 2025? Because your guess is as good as mine. Joining me now with his best guess on all the breaking news is Utah Congressman, our friend Burgess Owens.
Okay, now this guy here, this guy's great. Well, you know, I keep saying, well, they know about it too, or they're up on it, they know what's going on. Well, so everybody does, so I need to stop saying that. Anyway, let's check out more of his thoughts here.
Well, let me just say this, Tommy. You're spot on with all that. Here's the upside: the American people are waking up, have woken up. The American people, we have within our DNA. We love freedom. We don't like to be lied to. We don't like to be used, abused, and discarded. And we also have this tendency of some kind of standing on the sideline, thinking everything's going to be okay because we have our freedom. We're building our dreams. The American people, the last 4 years, have recognized that has been at risk. And there's nothing more powerful. I mean, there's voices like yourself, voices on Fox, all folks have been talking about this. But when the American people start getting engaged, start asking questions, and start realizing this doesn't make any sense, the side that's against them is in trouble. And that's what's happening to the Democratic Party right now. I don't know what they can do. Basically, I don't think anything, because until they go back to caring about America first, and that's impossible for Marxists, they're not going to be in a good position from this point moving forward for quite a while.
That's
and
right.
The other point, I just want to make this point again. Now that we're focusing on educating our kids, so important. And this is what President Trump said back when he was running. He's going to push the Marxists back 30 years. And this is exactly what he's doing right now. So it's up to us now that we're understanding this, that we stand up to make sure our kids understand what's going on right now, what we're up against, so they don't slip their way in like little termites to do this again to us in the near future.
You're right. We need some accountability.
Exactly. We need accountability. And you know what I think? The timing on this stuff, like Tommy had said earlier, these books that are coming out, it's another distraction. What they're trying to do is sell the books. They want money. See, it's all about money and power. It's all it's about. That's all the Democrats want. That's why they let this stuff out, so that they can make their money off their books. Another distraction. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. You guys take care. See ya.